Hello, everyone. Morrison. Welcome to Tanks Invest. Talk about investing, finance, fresh to the bone. For today's video, items only. The investment on top of today will be Ethereum ticket ETH. I know it's my third video that I'm posting again today. I wasn't gonna plan on posting again on the same topic, but with the volatile times and there's a lot of questions that's been percolating on the comments section. I just want to basically come back here to give you guys more of a live update, if you may. So hopefully you don't mind me regurgitating or repeating myself. I just want to make sure that you guys are executing your trades accordingly without using FOMO or using emotions in place, right? Using logic and using the right methodology to execute your price level based on what we see in the technical analysis, right? People can lie to you, but technical analysis never lies. It always tells the truth behind what people are psychologically doing, right? With their action puts into the supply and demand dynamics, right? So I'm gonna go through technical analysis again for Ethereum respectively, and knowing the fact that we are close to being like 12 hours away from the official debut of the London fork at 8 a.m. on the Eastern time tomorrow on August 5th, right? So with the anticipated pressure that still continue to percolate, knowing the fact that the international side of the world, on the other side of the hemisphere, I'm based in North America in New York, as you know, that a lot of people in China or in Japan or overseas haven't woken up yet, right? And they haven't watched this video yet, right? So as they pick up on this anticipated trends, I should foresee some FOMO pressure that should be percolating as well. And that should subsequently get us to be above the 2,750. So what's the play going forward, right? Are we going to be seeing more of a surge coming? Are we going to see 3,000 soon? Or should we be liquidating or securing some profit soon because the technicals is stretching a little bit? So I'm going to go through that in a little bit more in depth. So stay tuned, stick around, let's make some money. So moving on to the technical analysis for Ethereum ticket ETH, a recording of 5:39 p.m. on Eastern time. Current trade like $2,708, up about 9.06%. First, I just want to say congratulations to all those people that are securing profits or decide to take profits at the level that we at right now. It's an honorable thing to be securing profits. It's never the bad thing to do. And the typical methodology that I typically like to apply is, if you have like $100, right, and you have made, $100 gains, maybe take 40% of your profit, off the table, and then use that on the cash reserve, and then use that to dollar cost average later when it comes down. I think that 40-60 ratio has always worked out for me well, because ultimately 60% is still the indicator that you are still bullish for a long-term value proposition, and the 40% is just enough that it gives you that diversification and some room for buffer later on as we sell off from there, right? And I think we have a comparable momentum that we're experiencing right now with this percolations of continuous buy days we've been having so far. I think it's like 12 consecutive days so far, almost 2 weeks of just buying pressure, right? So with today's anticipated pressure for London fork, we are attempting to break through the obviously we're at 2,700, but you see all-time high today was the 2,726. So you can see that people are kind of net canceling out as we approach that next resistance level that we formed prior, right? But I think we should be getting some more buying pressure, with the people on the other side of the world wakes up later, and then we should have that debut on as we wake up, in the US, right? Basically on the East Coast at 8 a.m. tomorrow. So technically we still have about like over 12 hours left of buying pressure. And I think we should subsequently get there. I think by the time we go to sleep later tonight at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m., we might have a surge coming. And we will potentially get to the 2,750. We might hover about like close to about 2,800 and then net cancel out. Because the next leap up technically is $3,000, right? And again, 3,000 is not really a substantive level. The true level that we have had tested before, if you look at that level historically, is 3,133 or 3,150. Just keep it a flat number, right? So that's where I see going forward from here. I think would I be advising buying now? I think the buying opportunity has given us godsend when we hit that 1750 back in the day on the 20th, right? And then we had that consecutive green days because of the JP Morgan news, the Goldman Sachs news, and then some other positive media affectation that's been percolating on a sideway, on a daily basis. Some more substantive, but more just like regurgitating, but at the same time, some non-substantive, like trivial type of positive news as well that's been percolating, right? And then with respect to obviously the Feds and the SEC regulations stepping up on some of those media affectation, that subsequently drives some sell-off across the whole crypto market. And then today, the mega green candle, which is something that I've been screaming at people for about a week now, with this London fork debut, the anticipated pressure that we're percolating, right? So that's the play going forward. I would advise, maybe, if you want to take some profit, it's not a bad idea. Again, it's an honorable thing to do. The technicals never lie. I am just speaking on what the chart tells me. I don't have any feelings or bias towards Ethereum. I'm not in love with this thing. It's just something that I use because I can speak the language, right, by reading into the chart, and the chart tells me this story right now, and that's why we want to be following the story and just not just follow what I'm saying, but just follow what the chart tells you, right? And hopefully that's helpful. All right, just to recap on numbers and technical analysis again, right? We are attempting to break through to above that 2,750. And I think we do have a high likelihood that we will get there as people on the other side of the world wakes up and learn more about the anticipated pressure for the London fork that's expected to happen basically about 12 hours from now, right? So we should normalize afterwards, the typical buy the rumor, sell the news type of affectation, and we should potentially get back down to the 2,450, which is the next substantive level that will consolidate at, right? And I hope that we have more negative news coming, because ideally I want to be dollar cost averaging at the $2,150 level. I actually have a lot of cash reserve on the side right now to be waiting on the dip, because ultimately I currently have like 55 Ethereum right now. I want to get to 100. Right? And for me, if I keep pumping, I can be getting to 100. It's just like I don't want to be buying on a premium. I want to buy on a discount. We want to have a discount when we're shopping, right? That's just a matter of facts, right? But long-term wise, 12 months price target out will be 9,800, 20% corporate adoption, 4 times your money if you buy the 2,450. So this is for they respect my technical analysis on Ethereum again. I know I'm super annoying. I'm doing this like 3 times a day, speaking on the same topic. But hopefully this is helpful. The volatility and it definitely can drive people crazy if you don't if you're not thinking in the right methodology. Obviously, right? It's a practice. It's a muscle that you have to train to speak the language over time. But hopefully by just listening to me speak on a daily basis, now you learn a little bit about the pattern that we're using, right? The methodology that I apply every single time. It takes some time to get used to, right? But hopefully by continue to be practicing, and just like taking that repetitions over time, you start to formalize how the market dynamics looking like, how that will translate into the macro and the microeconomic factors, translate that into the technical analysis on reading the psychology, and then doing some quantitative analysis and research, building a financial model to, execute that ideal risk averse level that you want to be dollar cost averaging to build that long term, value, that long term capital gains that we're looking for, right? Hopefully this is helpful. Feel free to give me a shout if you have any questions again. And stay tuned for this coming up. Take care. Bye.